Good morning, students. I am Sangeeta, lecturer in chemistry, branch general section, working in GPT Narankhed, semester 2, subject engineering chemistry and environmental studies, subject code 18C204F. Our major topic is electromotive force, that is EMF. Duration 30 minutes. So our topic is dry cell, teaching aids, PPT, diagrams, animations wherever required. So today's our topic is dry cell. Let us recollect what we have discussed in the last class. So in last class we discussed problems on EMF. So once again I will revise these problems. So to do problems you should know the formula for EMF. Okay. So before that class only, we discussed the formula for EMF. So what is the EMF? The difference in electrode potentials of two electrodes, which causes flow of electricity from electrode of higher potential to electrode of lower potential, is called electromotive force. So what is electromotive force? The difference in between the two electrodes. So the difference of electrode potentials of the two electrodes. So because of that potential difference, so what is happening? Electricity is flowing from electrode having higher potential to the electrode having lower potential. That is called electromotive force. So electromotive force, that is represented by EMF. So EMF of a cell is given by formula potential difference between two electrodes. So here E cathode minus E anode. So this is the formula to calculate the EMF of the cell, or E right minus E left. So here E cathode means electrode potential of cathode. E anode means electrode potential of anode. So E right, ER means electrode potential of right hand side electrode. Here electrode potential of left hand side electrode. So always anode will be on left hand side and cathode will be on right hand side. Okay. So here reduction potentials are taken as standard potentials. Okay. Standard reduction potentials are taken as electrode potentials while calculating the EMF of the cell. So just you have to take here reduction potentials only while calculating the EMF of the cell. So here we have seen some few problems. So what is the first problem? Simple. Cell representation is given and he asked to calculate the EMF of the cell and he given the electrode potential. So E right minus E left. So we will calculate like this. So here also same we calculated. So like this we calculated few problems. So here one problem I will say. So here in the last class we did some mistake. So once again I will explain that problem. So this is the problem. So see here, seventh problem. So given electrode potentials are Fe plus 3 plus electron gives rise to Fe plus 2. E naught is 0.771 volts. Then I2 plus 2 electrons gives rise to 2I. E naught is 0.536 volts. Find the E cell for the reaction. So this is the reaction. 2Fe plus 3 plus 2I gives rise to 2Fe plus 2 plus I2 is. So here you have to read the question carefully. So here this is the equation, this is the equation, this is the iron. So what is this chemical reaction? It is gaining electrons. Okay, it is taking electrons. So it is undergoing reduction. So here this is the reduction potential. Okay, Fe plus 3 is taking electron and it is converting into Fe plus 2. This gaining of electrons is called reduction. So here reduction potential, this much. Then iodine. Iodine also undergoing reduction. Is taking electrons and converting into 2I. Okay. So here also given reduction potential. So and he is asking to calculate the E cell of the reaction. Here cell reaction, overall reaction given 2Fe plus 3 plus 2I gives rise to Fe plus 2 plus I2. So both are undergoing reduction. So here reduction potentials are given and he asked you to calculate the EMF of the cell. Okay. So here. Okay. Here I told now. So this is undergoing reduction. This is the reduction potential. This is also undergoing reduction. This is the reduction potential. So E cell is calculated by formula E oxidation plus E reduction. So here both values are reduction potentials. So here E oxidation. So which one? This is 0.536. So among these two, whichever is having less reduction potential, okay, this is having less reduction potential, this is having more reduction potential. So E oxidation plus E reduction, so minus 0.536. So here we are converting into oxidation potential. So what you have to do here, reduction potential plus means oxidation potential will be minus. So 0.536 plus here 0.771. What is the answer? 0.235 volts. So this is the E cell of this cell. So like this you have to calculate. So and once again here the two half cell reactions of an electrochemical cell is, so here Ag is undergoing reduction and iron is undergoing oxidation. So here is asking to calculate. So here with more negative generally act as reducing agent, while the less negative act as oxidizing agent. So always more negative reduction potential will act as reducing agent. Okay. And less negative will act as oxidizing agent. So E silver minus E iron. Okay, so like this you have to calculate the EMF of the cell. So in the last class we discussed few problems based on EMF. Okay, so today's our topic is dry cell. So what are the objectives? So on completion of this period you would able to understand so definition of battery, types of batteries, and working and applications of dry cell. So before going to dry cell, so we'll study what is a battery and what are the types of batteries. So what is a battery? A group of galvanic cells designed to convert chemical energy of spontaneous redox reaction into electrical energy are called batteries. So batteries are mainly two types. So what is a battery? Batteries are nothing but group of galvanic cells designed to convert chemical energy of spontaneous redox reaction into electrical energy. So due to spontaneous redox reaction, what is happening here? Chemical energy is converting into electrical energy. So here group of galvanic cells. So group of galvanic cell is nothing but a battery. And these batteries are again classified into two types. It's primary battery and secondary battery. So we'll see what is primary battery, what is secondary battery. So primary batteries. The batteries become dead over a period of time and cannot be recharged and reused again are called primary batteries. So primary batteries means they are not rechargeable. Once they are used, they become dead. Okay. So we can't use those batteries again. So that type of batteries are called primary batteries. Non-rechargeable batteries are called primary batteries. Simply. So the batteries becomes dead over a period of time So some period of time you can use, after that they will become dead and you cannot be recharged and reused. So that type of batteries are called primary batteries. So example for primary batteries, dry cell, mercury cell. Okay, non-rechargeable batteries, not rechargeable batteries. You can't recharge those batteries are called primary batteries. Then come to the secondary batteries. The batteries in which original reactants are regenerated by passing direct current from external source and reused again are called secondary batteries. Simply secondary batteries means they can rechargeable. So here we are regenerating reactants, okay, by passing what? By passing direct current from external source, okay, and used again. That means we can recharge those batteries, we can use again and again. So chargeable batteries, rechargeable batteries are called secondary batteries. So example for secondary batteries, lead storage battery, nickel cadmium cell. Okay, primary battery means they cannot be rechargeable. They can be used for a period of time. Okay, so that type of batteries are called primary batteries. For primary batteries, example dry cell and mercury cell. In this, we will study this dry cell in your syllabus. You have dry cell, you don't have mercury cell. Only one primary cell, that is dry cell. Then secondary batteries means they are rechargeable and they are used again and again. So that type of batteries are called secondary batteries. Example, lead storage battery and nickel cadmium cells. So these two cells are having in your syllabus. Okay, these two cells also we will study. So okay, today's our topic is working and application of dry cell. Working and applications of dry cell. So dry cell or Leclancy cell. This is also called as Leclancy cell. So in exam they can ask dry cell, write about dry cell or write about Leclancy cell. So you should know the second name also, that is Leclancy cell. Dry cell is also called as Leclancy cell. So here, this cell consists of zinc container which act as anode. Cathode is carbon rod surrounded by powdered manganese dioxide and carbon. The moist paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride is used as electrolyte. The EMF of the cell is 1.5 volts. So very simple here. So here we are using zinc container. This container itself acts as anode. Then cathode is carbon rod. Okay. So here cathode we are taking carbon rod. That is surrounded by powdered manganese dioxide and carbon. Okay. And here electrolyte is the moist paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. It is the electrolyte. And the EMF of the cell is 1.5 volts. Okay, so here we will see the diagram. You can understand easily. So this is the diagram for dry cell. So dry cell is a primary cell. You can't recharge. Okay. So this is the container. This container is made up of zinc. This container itself act as anode. So always in galvanic cell, anode is given negative sign. And this middle one is carbon rod, okay, or graphite rod. You can say here cap is there, metal cap. This will act as cathode and this is covered, this container is covered here and here. At the bottom it is naked, okay, and it is surrounded by manganese dioxide and carbon powder, black carbon powder, and the electrolyte is moist paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2, ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. So this is the graphite rod or carbon rod act as cathode. So cathode is given positive symbol. Okay. So zinc container, anode, porous paper lining, this one here. Okay, this is the structure of construction of dry cell. Very simple. So container made up of zinc, it will act as anode. So here with cap in middle, graphite rod or carbon rod, that will be acting as cathode. So it is surrounded by magnesium dioxide and carbon powder. And here paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride will act as electrolyte. So here the following changes will take place here. So always, so in galvanic cell you studied always at anode which reaction will take place? Oxidation. Always at cathode which reaction will take place? Reduction. This thing you have to remember. So anode means oxidation. The chemical reaction takes place at anode is always oxidation. A chemical reaction takes place always at cathode is reduction. So what is oxidation? What is reduction also you have to remember. So what is oxidation? Loss of electrons is called oxidation. Gain of electrons is called reduction. If you know these things, you can write the equations easily. So loss of electrons, oxidation. Gain of electrons, reduction. At anode, oxidation will take place. At cathode, reduction will take place. So here which is acting as anode? Zinc container itself acting as anode. That means zinc, this zinc itself undergoing oxidation. So here graphite rod or carbon rod is acting as cathode when it is surrounded by manganese dioxide and carbon powder, that is black carbon powder. So that will act as cathode. So at the cathode reduction will take place. So we will see the reactions here. So at anode, so this zinc container is anode. So zinc is undergoing oxidation. So zinc is converting into Zn plus 2 plus 2 electrons. Okay. Then come to the cathode. At cathode, what is happening? Reduction is taking place. So which one is undergoing reduction? MnO2, that is manganese dioxide. So this is undergoing reduction. So what is meant by reduction? Gaining of electrons. So it will gain electron. So here MnO2 is converting into MnOOH. Okay, here in MnO2, what is the oxidation state of Mn? Plus 4, O2. O2 means for one oxygen minus 2, two oxygens minus 4, that means plus 4. So plus 4 means it is taking one electron. So it will convert to plus 3. So your one oxygen minus 2, for one hydroxy group it is minus. So minus 3 means oxidation state plus 3. So from where it is getting this H? So it is taking, that is NH4 plus. So here we are using electrolyte NH4Cl and ZnCl2. So from that NH4Cl, this NH4 is reacting with MnO2. So that here it is giving one hydrogen. So it is converting into MnOOH. So it requires one electron. So it takes one electron and one hydrogen from this NH4. Then it is converting into MnOH. That means this its oxidation state is changing from plus 4 to plus 3. So and what is releasing? Ammonia gas is forming. So here NH4 plus is giving of one hydrogen. So it will be converted into NH3. So this is the reaction taking place at cathode. So that is MnO2 is converting into MnOOH. So that is reduction is this Mn plus 4 to plus 3 it is converting. So here what is happening? Ammonia gas is releasing. So this gas is explosive. So what will it will do? So it will combine with Zn plus 2. So here we took the ZnCl2 and ammonium chloride paste. So what it will do, the Zn plus 2 will trap this ammonia gas and forms complex, that is ZnNH3 4 plus 2. Zinc ammonium complex is formed. So which is in aqueous in nature. So like this, chemical reactions are taking place in dry cell. But anode oxidation, Zn is converting into Zn plus 2. That means it is losing electrons. So it is oxidation. Whereas at cathode, manganese dioxide is converting into MnOOH. It is taking electron and it is reacting with NH4 plus, so that it is converting into MnOOH and NH3 gas is releasing. And this ammonia gas is explosive in nature. So what it will do, it will combines with Zn plus 2. This whatever the Zn chloride is present in the electrolyte, that Zn plus 2 ions will trap this ammonia gas and forms a zinc complex. Okay, these are the chemical reactions. And what is the EMF of the cell? This is very, very important. So one more question. What is the EMF of dry cell? That is 1.5 voltage. So the EMF of dry cell is 1.5 volts. Okay, then come to applications. So here this dry cell is used in transistors, clocks, camera, hearing aids and radios, etc. You see in our home, clocks, whatever the cells we are using, so these dry cells are used. Okay, cameras, hearing aids, radios, and even in transistors we will use these dry cells. Okay, this is our dry cell. Very simple. Zinc container itself act as anode. Cathode is carbon rod or graphite rod. Is surrounded by powdered manganese dioxide and carbon. And the electrolyte is the moist paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. Okay. So the reactions taking place at anode or oxidation, at cathode or reduction. So zinc itself undergoing oxidation, that is Zn plus 2 electrons. It is giving the electrons, so it is oxidation. Then at cathode, reduction. So which is undergoing reduction here? MnO2, manganese dioxide. It is taking one electron and taking one hydrogen from ammonium ion. It is converting into MnOOH plus ammonia. As this ammonia gas is explosive in nature, this ammonia gas is trapped by the Zn plus 2 ions and forms zinc complex. Okay. Then summary. So in this period, what we have discussed: definition of battery, types of batteries, working and applications of dry cell. So among these, very, very important, definition of battery and this working and applications of dry cell. And here in this working, reactions very, very important. So if your reactions are correct, you will get the full marks. Okay. So that reactions very, very important. Oxidation, reduction, which one is undergoing oxidation, which one is undergoing reduction. That one you have to remember. If you know what is oxidation, if you know what is reduction, then you can easily write the equations. Okay. Then come to objective type questions. So what type of objective type questions we may expect from this topics? So dry cell is the modification of A. Daniell cell, B. Leclancy cell, C. Late cell, D. Edison cell. What is the answer? D. Leclancy cell. So dry cell is also called as Leclancy cell. So it is a modification of Leclancy cell. Then the EMF of dry cell. So already I told you the EMF of cell is very, very important. So in your syllabus you have 4 cells. So for 4 cells you have to remember this EMF. So don't confuse. So what is the EMF of the dry cell? Here A is 1, B is 1.2, C is 1.5, D is 2. So answer is 1.5 volts. The EMF of dry cell is 1.5 volts. This is for one more question also important. Write the EMF of dry cell. They will ask 1.5 volts is the EMF of the dry cell. Then come to the next question, third question, that is advantages of dry cells are. So what are the advantages of dry cells? A, cheap, B, convenient, C, portable, D, all of the above. So what is the answer? Answer D. So they are cheap, they are convenient for us, and they are portable. So answer is all of the above. Then next. Fourth one. In dry cell, electrolyte paste is formed of. Okay. So we studied no. So what is the electrolyte? The paste of combination of which solutions? So here some options are given: A, ammonium sulfate, B, ammonium nitrate, C, ammonium chloride, D, zinc sulfate. So what is the answer? Ammonium chloride. So there we are using paste of zinc chloride and ammonium chloride as electrolyte. So here only one is given, that is ammonium chloride. So answer is C. So like this you can expect this type of questions from this topic. So very simple topic, dry cell. Okay. So it is a primary cell. So you have to mainly you have to remember it is a primary cell. It means you can't recharge that cell, that they are not chargeable. Okay. So here in dry cell, what is the electrolyte? So like this you have to remember what is anode, what is cathode, what is electrolyte. Zinc is the anode, zinc container is the anode, carbon rod or graphite rod is the cathode, and the electrolyte is the paste of ammonium chloride and zinc chloride. And the EMF of the cell is 1.5. Like that you can remember. And at anode, oxidation, at cathode, reduction. So zinc is undergoing oxidation, that is Zn gives rise to Zn plus 2 electrons. And at cathode, magnesium dioxide is undergoing reduction. What is reduction? Taking of electrons. So it will take electron and it is converting into MnOOH. So how, from where it is getting hydrogen? From this NH4Cl. This NH4 plus is giving one hydrogen and converting into ammonia. So ammonia is explosive in nature. That ammonia is trapped by Zn plus 2 ions, so that it is converting into complex. Okay, this is about working of dry cell. Then come to the questions or assignment. So this type of questions you may expect, and these are the questions for your assignment. So what is battery? Define primary and secondary batteries. Give examples. Explain the working of dry cell. Write the applications of dry cell. So among these questions, very important, what is battery and explain the working of dry cell. And this question for 5 marks. Okay. And these are applications for 1 mark. And what is battery for 1 mark. And define primary and secondary batteries for 3 marks or 1 mark. So for 1 mark also they can ask define primary battery or define secondary battery. Or they can ask classify batteries with examples. That is for 3 marks. So what is a battery? These are the group of galvanic cells which convert chemical energy into electrical energy by spontaneous redox reaction is called as a battery. And these batteries are classified into 2 types, secondary batteries and primary batteries. So what is a primary battery? Simply the battery which is not rechargeable is called as primary batteries. And secondary batteries means they are rechargeable batteries are called secondary batteries. So primary batteries example. So for 1 more question they can ask like that also. Give examples for primary batteries. Dry cell and mercury cell. So in your syllabus only dry cell is there, mercury cell is not there. So example for primary cell is dry cell and mercury cell. And example for secondary batteries, lead storage battery and nickel cadmium cell. These 2 batteries we will study in the next class. Okay. So explain the working of dry cell means you have to draw the diagram, you have to write the equations, and you have to give the explanation. Very simple. What is anode? What is cathode? What is the electrolyte? What is the EMF? Okay. Then what are the reactions taking place at anode and cathode? So then applications, come to applications, they are used in transistors, clocks, camera, hearing aids, and radios. Okay. So these are the applications of dry cell. So with this we finish dry cell. Okay. So in next class we will study the secondary battery, that is lead storage battery. So in your syllabus, primary cell, only one cell, that is dry cell. So in your exam they can ask like that also. How means explain the working of primary cell. So only one cell is there, that is dry cell. So write the working of dry cell means it is direct question. Write the working of primary cell means that is indirect question. Okay. What is the primary cell here? Dry cell in your syllabus. So you have to write this dry cell. And this dry cell is also called as Leclancy cell. Okay. This dry cell is also called as Leclancy cell. They can ask write about Leclancy cell also they can ask. So you should know the other name of dry cell also. So that is Leclancy cell. Okay, like this you can explain the dry cell. So if you have any doubts, you can clarify your doubts in the next class. Thank you, students.